Hello, hello, my beautiful collectives. Today we are going to be doing a collective reading on this beautiful Friday, which is Venus, love. But what Spirit wanted me to do is to tap in to your inner child. So this may be triggering because I do not sugarcoat, and if it triggers you, my apologies, but Spirit told me to do this reading. So we're going to tap into what is your inner child longing for, and I might do a little bit of the shadow. So let's see. What is your inner child longing for? And remember, this is a collective reading. If you guys would like to book your own private personal reading, go to luna-priestess.com and you can book your reading. And if you're watching this on TikTok, you can see the full video on my YouTube channel at Luna Priestess 9877. So let's tap in. Oh, let me cleanse first. Chubby is over here relaxing. Let's tap in. Let's see. And this is a timeless reading, so as you clicked on this video found you, you may need to listen to this. So if this found you, then this is something you should listen to. I know a lot of people fear their child wounds. So what does your inner child want? What is your inner child seeking? Why was I drawn to do this reading? What is your inner child seeking? What does your inner child want? This could be anything from your love life, to your relationships, to yourself, to your career. What is your inner child searching for? And what do you need to do to listen to this inner child? Whoa, all these cards are upside down. That is crazy. So your inner child, Two of Pentacles, that means your inner child wants you to speak to them and open up. The bottom of the deck, your inner child has felt always pushed to the side. And your inner child may be having a mother wound because we have the Queen of Cups reverse. So you may have been longing for that nurturing and that care of your mother. Whoa. I'm getting a sense that you were like pushed to the side, like your mother wasn't there. So I'm going to also pull some oracles. And these also may be triggering, because they are, what do you need to heal? What is your inner child searching for? What do you need to heal? And what are you doing now, too, is what I'm hearing. What are you doing now? So let's see. What is your inner child needs to heal? Right off the bat, I'm getting sadness and change. Whoa. So sadness wanted to come out because it just flew out. Then all of a sudden I'm getting very warm. Family, change. What do you need to balance for your inner child? What do you need to balance for this inner child? Whoa, somebody's bumping. So we're going to do the oracle first. So your inner child wants to be alone at times. We have the Hermit card. So your inner child felt like you never had that peace in the house. You may have had a house that had a lot of noise, I'm getting chaos, I'm getting a lot of friction. You wanted to just hide from things. You want solitude. Hold on. My apologies. So, as I was saying, the Hermit. This is possibly why you withdraw now from society and you fear judgment of others. Because you felt when you were younger that nobody really saved you and nobody listened to you. So you withdraw. Ooh, and then the child divine came out. Hold on. So I'm hearing some of you guys are getting triggered. That's why my dog is barking a lot. He can feel your energy. So, as an inner child, you wanted to be noticed. You wanted to be heard too, because he keeps barking. You wanted to be heard. You wanted your voice to be seen. And you also felt like, I'm just hearing a lot of negativity around you, and you felt like nobody was really there to take away your pain and your negativity, because there was a lot of, I'm hearing chaos in the house. You weren't heard, you weren't seen. I'm also hearing there was a lot of arguing, fighting, sadness. You felt a lot of sadness when you were little. A lot of emotions. And what I'm also picking up on, you were told to push down that sadness, push down those emotions, and not to show your feelings. Don't show your feelings. That's what I'm hearing. So now you may want to show that sadness. Or what I'm also hearing is that you hide your sadness, because the next card I'm getting is take off your mask. So you may be sad inside, but you don't show anyone. Take off your mask. You don't like to show vulnerability. You don't like to show weakness. You don't like to show people that you are hurting. And I'm also hearing that you left your house at a very young age also. And what I'm also hearing is that you didn't want to be controlled anymore. You had very controlling parents is what I'm picking up on. So when you became able to leave, you were very wild. You wanted to be free. You didn't want nobody to tell you anything. You didn't want nobody to get in your business. You wanted to be wild and crazy and free. You wanted to free yourself from all of this is what I'm hearing. You really wanted divine patience. You wanted someone, and I keep seeing a mother. You wanted a mother to be patient with you. You wanted a mother to be kind to you. You wanted a mother to listen to you. But I'm also hearing is that you are doing a lot of self-love, a lot of self-reflection, or you're trying to. That's why this message grabbed your attention, because you're trying to remove this past memories, this past trauma that you're holding on to, and you're starting to see, okay, if I heal this, I'm going to transform, I'm going to remove this. So I'm seeing Phoenix rising, transformation. So I'm hearing whoever I'm speaking to is trying to go on a self-love journey. trying to love themselves and trying to also forgive the past of their mother. And I want to sneeze. Hold on. So confirmation. So, yeah, I'm hearing somebody. I'm also picking up on an earth sign because I'm seeing a lot of emeralds. I'm seeing a lot of emeralds on this feminine. What I'm also hearing is that you wanted to be able to vocalize when you were mad, when you were upset. You wanted to speak your opinion. You wanted a voice. And now you need to be more assertive, and you need to listen to that inner voice, and you need to be that individuality that you've always wanted to be. You need to speak your mind and not hold back, is what I'm hearing. You need to speak your mind. What I'm also hearing is possessions. When you were younger, you were told, we don't have this, we can't afford this. You can't, we can't. So you never felt like you belonged, and you never felt like you were able to get anything that you really wanted or you needed. You felt like they only gave you the minimum, just the minimum, basic. And now you feel like sometimes you overspend or you underspend because you're afraid of not having. You need to ground this energy. This also has to do with your money and your resources. You need to heal this. But what I'm also picking up on is when you were silent and you were alone, you may have gone in your room and listened to music, and music really settled your soul and your mind. You may be very creative in music. You may like to make music, or you may just like to listen to a lot of beautiful music, and Spirit is telling me to tell you that now you need to be in silence and you need to hear music instead of watching other stuff. Listen to beautiful music, and it's going to calm you down and get you back into alignment. So what I'm also seeing, that you never felt like you really belonged in this family. You felt like you were an outcast of this family. What I'm also picking up, you may have been like a rebel. Like you spoke up when you were told not to speak up. You voiced your opinion when you were told not to. And now you're trying to find and belong to a tribe, to your own family. You want your soulmate. You want your happiness. You don't want it to be the same as you were brought up. When you were younger, you were trying to make connections with your family and support, but you felt like there was no love and support. You felt like you were not heard. You were not seen. So now Spirit is saying you need to make those connections. You need to get out and you need to meet people and create those relationships. And also, you felt like your presence wasn't seen. Like you didn't exist. Like, yes, they had you, but you were just like pushed to the side. You wanted attention, you wanted love, you wanted guidance, you wanted to be seen. I just keep hearing seen. And then the Hermit, it came out in my hand again. This is why some of you may be going in solitude and not really wanting to connect with others. So now I'm going to be pulling the tarot. Well, I have it pulled here. So the Three of Swords. You don't want anybody to break your heart again. You're very guarded is who I'm picking up on. Very guarded. You will not allow anybody to break your heart again. So I'm picking up on someone that has a lot of fear of committing. I'm getting somebody doesn't want to commit. Or you may want to commit, but then you get fearful and then you pull out of it. We also have the Knight of Wands reverse. What I'm also picking up on, you may be picking people or circumstances that cannot commit. And you always are trying to change them and help them to be different. That's what I'm also picking up on. The Fool, somebody doesn't like to change, doesn't like to go forward. You could be very set in your ways and you're trying to change this. And you have a lot of fear of the new, is what I'm also picking up on. The Four of Swords, you don't like to show vulnerability. Whoever I'm speaking to does not like to show that they're in pain. But then when you're alone is when you show your pain by yourself. You never really had anyone to say, are you okay? Do you need help? Do you need assistance? Do you need to talk? You would just curl up, I'm hearing, and go to sleep, or, you know, just be in your room. You don't want this anymore. And you promised yourself anything that anybody was trying to give you baggage, you're just going to remove them. You're removing them from your life. You don't want it anymore. And what I'm also hearing is that you do not like change. You could be very set in your ways. Or what I'm also picking up on, you feel like change doesn't happen the way you want. Things don't move the way you want. You may feel at times it's very stagnant. So now I'm going to be confirming with another deck. So what is going to happen if this collective watching this really conquers their shadows? Because this is shadows when it comes to your inner child. What is going to happen in their life when they decide, or if they're doing it now, and they change these wounds? What is going to happen in their life? Wow. So what I'm picking up on is you can go both ways. You can get very hard where you're just going to have boundaries and cut off people very hard and not allow anybody to ever hurt you again. But also Spirit is saying they want you to tap into your intuition before you get this cold. And stop yourself. You don't need to be cold. You just need to put your boundaries. And my voice went a little bit. Pay attention to your intuition in the beginning. If this energy is not resonating with you, tap into Spirit and then just remove yourself. And then you will get the clarity, the inner clarity, and you will not fear going back into that black hole that you once did when you were small. And you won't lose yourself. You won't lose your inspiration, wanting to move on and doing the things that you want, and lose yourself in someone. Because I'm hearing you may be also the type that wants to give, also is what I'm picking up on, and loses their self into someone else. And you will no longer have these voices in your head. Like, should I, shouldn't I, should I, what should I do? Being very indecisive. What I'm also picking up on is somebody wants somebody to return. But I'm also seeing a feminine trying to control this masculine to come back in. What I'm also hearing is that you're not going to do that anymore. You're going to eliminate all these blocks. And if they don't want to come in correctly, you're just going to close it. You're not going to have that fear anymore, and you will stop the movement. And you will get out of your inner voice, out of your inner head. And you will stop searching and get out of this entrapment of your head. But what I'm also hearing is that you need to stay very grounded. And you also need to come out of just being by yourself all the time. And this is when you're going to find that happiness. The happiness is going to come in within. You're going to feel like a relief of your life. And everything's going to start moving. You're going to open it up for what you want. And all of this sad emotion I'm hearing is going to move. And you're going to start going forward, and you're going to accept what you want. and you're no longer going to be indecisive. And then you're going to go on to the path that you always wanted. And you're going to be very balanced in your emotions. And you're going to remove this black hole. You're going to remove the black hole. So let's see what else Spirit wants to say before I wrap this up. So I'm hearing you will be going through healing, and you will have that family that you want. That healing will happen, and that family that you want is going to happen as well. So let's hear. And he's really feeling these emotions, because that's why he's barking so much, because we're in the house. Let's see what else will happen. And I'm going to pull one more archetype. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. They want to talk. But I'm only going to pull two. Too many came out. So what I'm hearing is change is going to happen. A lot of change is going to happen in your life. You're no longer going to feel this rejection in your life. And I'm also hearing that somebody in your life is feeling the rejection. What I'm also picking up on, you're no longer going to procrastinate on things. You're going to do the things that you want to do. And you are going to heal that inner child. You're going to take the leap and heal this inner child, and no more battling of the inner child. No more ignoring and abandoning your inner child. Because when you push your inner child away and you don't want to heal, you're pushing it away, and you are, I'm just going to be honest, doing the same thing as what happened when you were little. You need to forgive what had happened when you were small. Because what I'm picking up on, whoever raised you didn't know, but they also should have learned. And you need to let go to heal yourself by letting go, to let go of that anger and that resentment, not for them, but for you. This is for you to heal. You may be seeing a rainbow, or you may be seeing, I think these are called, I don't know if you want to put it in the comments, but I see them all the time. You will see those, and you will fix the relationships that you have and the intimacy, and you'll feeling more accepted, and you will trust more also. Once you heal this, you're going to start feeling a fulfillment and joy in your life and happiness now. You're going to let go and start having fun and not worrying so much. And what I'm also hearing, you're not going to be getting those craves to be going to someone that doesn't truly value you anymore. You're not going to want to start, what I'm also hearing is giving so freely to someone that is not reciprocating the same energy to you. And what I'm also hearing is there's still some, what do you call it? Shadows. You want to balance things out for people, and you want to help people, and you want to make equal. That's what's going to happen. The scales will be balancing also. And what I'm also hearing is you're going to conquer your ego. You will conquer your ego, because your ego had a lot to do with this pain of not forgiving, not wanting to let go, not wanting to release. And Spirit is trying to help you evolve from this. So this is the reason why I made this video, is because Spirit wanted me to help you hear this message. And I know this could be very triggering, but Spirit said do this message. And what I'm also hearing, you may not all of you, but some of you are no longer going to be seeking validation from someone to acknowledge your inner beauty or your outer beauty. This could be a masculine or a feminine energy, but you're no longer going to want to seek that anymore. You're going to be wanting to be your true authentic self. And you may show your true authentic self now. Because I'm also hearing you may be covering up something that you don't like showing. And now you're going to allow it to show. But Spirit is telling me to tell you, you've always been beautiful. And you've always been accepted just as you are. And Spirit is wanting me to tell you that they made you the way you are for a reason. Because everybody in this earth is different. And nobody is like you. So Spirit wants you to stop self-sabotaging yourself from the things that Spirit wants to give you. And do this to release and let go of this inner pain that you've been having for years. And see your beauty. Because I see your beauty. I might not see you physically, but I can energetically feel your beauty. So what I also wanted to say, if you guys are having trouble getting into your inner child or conquering your shadows, and you want to release this pain and you want to move forward, go to aluna-priestess.com, and I do spiritual healing sessions, and a lot of it has to do with inner trauma, and a lot of it has to do with inner child. This can relate to relationships, this can relate to career, or this can just relate to inner self-love. So if you guys would like to book, it's really easy. Go to the website and you can pick the day and the time that you want to book your session. You can do daily or weekly sessions. And I was doing groups. I might bring it back again if people want it. So sending you a lot of love and light and a lot of healing. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.